Hi, Gio. Thanks for joining us. Congrats on the win. It was a special evening. Why don't you just start us off with your thoughts on tonight?
Yeah, first of all, a game that we needed to win. We've been seeing these type of games this season many times in which we play well, but then we don't get the result that we need, and then we don't capitalize in the points that we need to accumulate. But today, the team played very well, and we competed well to be able to get, I think, a deserved win against a good team, very good team. I thought that if I was in the stands, this is a game that I would have wanted to watch because it was exciting. It was two teams that wanted to win, two teams with good quality. Now that we have some players back, and for us, it's very important to have been able to achieve the 3 points at home with a good performance. And now we see Seba, Jimmy, Mora, contributing more and more minutes, and that was very important for us.
Gio, you mentioned those three guys there. The attack scores 3 goals tonight. You guys snap a 5-match winless streak. Just how impressive was that performance to you against that sort of really good Columbus team?
Yeah, I think what I was most impressed was the way we started the game. I thought that we started very strong, with a lot of energy, with the ideas very clear, and we didn't allow Columbus to be able to get in good spaces. We closed all the spaces. It became difficult. I think they grew a little bit towards the end of the first half. The second half they started well. And just the things that we need to improve. We cannot concede a goal the last minute in the first 45 minutes and put ourselves in a difficult situation. We have to take a little more opportunity. We have to make sure that we capitalize on the chances that we created. I think we had about 3 or 4 really open chances. So I think we could have put the game away, and then we kind of suffered a little bit at the end. But I say suffered because we sacrificed to get the win, and I think the guys that step on the field, everyone did a phenomenal job today.
Gio, obviously a back and forth match, and as you said, for a neutral, an entertaining match. Were you worried about the dropping of points just in that 2-2 situation, and how do you think the team responded well to end up getting the 3 points?
Yeah, so in my mind, I wasn't thinking about, the 2-2, and, it's a point right now. I was just trying to think about, how can we win the game? How can we get the 3 points that we need? How can we, manage the game in a way that we can get a result? And I think, thank God, because at the end of the day, the players are the ones that, get the job done and they make you look good. Because I think at the end, we did make the right decisions because the players that came in, were able to execute. First, to be able to score that goal that we needed for the 3-2. And then I thought that once we put the 5 in the back, I think that we closed the game. I think at that moment, I have to say, Mabiala and Miller came in and just to manage the game in a very professional way. So good to see a team now that has more players, and when you make a substitution, you see how things get better still in the run of the game.
And honoring Diego Valeri tonight, a special moment for the fans and for you and for others that have been around him over these years. From your vantage point, what was tonight like to honor him?
Yeah, I think first of all, a very emotional night for him because when you do the things that he's done here in Portland, when he created, this history here, he's been a very important component of this club. He's Portland, not only Portland Timbers, he's Portland. So it's a well-deserved induction and a very emotional moment. And one of the things that we spoke in the locker room was, let's make those guys that have their name up there, proud today. And the guys did. So I think it was a perfect day.
Hey, Gio, that's kind of a nice birthday present for you today.
Thank you.
I want to bring up something you mentioned in training, that we now have a full roster, and that makes your decisions difficult, but also a good kind of difficult. When you made your first 3 substitutions tonight, was that part of your game plan originally, or was that more a minute-by-minute on-the-field decision?
Yeah, that, in my mind, I had those 3 coming into the game, not precisely at the same time. But Bolly, which he played a very good game, started looking a little tired. I think Asprilla put a great work besides the goals. I mean, a lot of input, and we saw even the last sprint before he came out of the game. So he started to get tired. And then Loria also played a very good game. So I thought that the 3 put the shift that we needed, and we needed to replace him at the same time. And I think the guys that came in, did the job. And then one of the questions that we were trying to figure out was, should we keep the 3 in the middle, or should we go with the 2 and have another forward when we were 2-2 as well. But we like what we had, in that in the middle. We were close and everything. We didn't give them that much space to be able to find. They're a dangerous team when they find those spaces. And I thought that we made a good decision. At the end, once we scored the goal, we just had to close the game, and we got, very smart guys on the field.
Congratulations, Gio. Some
Thank you.
points. Feels like the bleeding has kind of stopped. Maybe we want a streak of wins to really get some motivation. I think my only question was stepping in Larry Smabiala instead of Miguel Araujo, and maybe what's the center back battle going on with him?
Yeah. So first of all, it's always good to win, and but now this win has to, keep us pushing forward to make sure that that we know that we have a chance to be able to make playoff. So every game is more important right now, and now winning this game, going into Leeds Cup, give us some confidence to to feel like we can be ready to play in that huge competition that I think everyone in MLS wants to win. So that is for me, I think, an important component of this moment. Araujo just arrived. He needs to understand the league. He hasn't trained that many times. He had only 1 week training. And you can see that he's definitely going to help. Mabiala has been in the league a long time. He understands. So at this particular moment, we felt that, putting Mabiala, he will know his surrounding. Remember, Araujo hasn't trained once in this field. He hasn't played much in the turf, even though, and I spoke to him, he's played in turf fields like this in Holland, so he's used to. But it's one thing being used to than having to have played already in this field. So we felt that it was the right thing. But it's a good competition, difficult. I want to be in this position, that I have difficult choices to make, and that's a good thing. Thank you.
Gio, obviously Santi not in the 20 tonight. Is that a disciplinary measure, or what does his availability look like going forward?
Yeah, so definitely I had to make a decision that had to be, disciplinary sounds, like harsh. I would say more like, you have to follow the rules. And for him to be reintegrated, he needed to go through a process. So now, of course, he will start training. Now he will start participating in being another player that is going to compete for the position. And he's a player that we want him to succeed, and it's important for us. So. Most likely this week at some point he will be back, in training.
All right, we'll wrap it there. Thank you for your
Thank
time,
you.
Gio, and congrats again.